welcome to a Love Island Games recap season 2 episode 8. This whole episode really was just around the duel that we'll talk about in just a second, but I want to back up quickly on Sydney coming into the villa last night doing the heart rate challenge also with Marvin. Again, as we've said, Sydney is Isaiah's ex, so she comes in. They ask her, like, are you back for Isaiah? She was like, no, like, but we'll probably, talk, whatever, like, whatever. Isaiah cheated on her. They were together for a year after the show, so they were together probably in total like a little, maybe a year, a couple months, whatever like that. Haven't seen each other since that breakup in December 2023. I also forgot that she was just on this past season of Love Island Australia, season 6, which aired in like December. And she was on there for a little bit. She didn't last very, very long on there. I forgot that she was even on there. I was like, oh yeah, she was on there. That's the last time I saw her. But yeah, now she's back. I think some people were saying, like, how was she, when she came in, they asked her, like, were you going to talk to Isaiah? She's like, yeah, there's maybe unfinished business or like something like that or whatever. I was like, why is this unfinished business with someone who cheated on you? Like, babes, what's going on? I don't know what's going to happen there. Obviously, they haven't really spoken. Like, Isaiah got pulled to the hideaway pretty much soon after the challenge finished, it seems. But essentially, after the challenge, we know the people who are vulnerable, KK and Chris, Andrea and Toby, and Andrina and Johnny all got like the fewest hearts raised. Nicola and Isaiah are power couple, so they go to the hideaway. They're a friendship couple, but they go to the hideaway, and in there they say, okay, choose, of the vulnerable couples, choose who you want to duel against each other. 2 boys, 2 girls are going to duel against each other. Now me, right away, I think I said this yesterday too, right away I'm like, okay, so on the boy side, I want to go for the strongest competitors. If I know for sure one of them is going to get dumped, let me for sure get out 2 of the strongest competitors. Which of the boys that you have the options are, and even the boys of the whole villa, really, are Chris and Johnny. Chris 6'8", and Johnny, runner-up twice, runner-up once on season game, on Love Island Games, has very strong, active person. I'm putting them against each other because that means one of them gets to go home. So that's just good for me. And then even the girls, 2 strong competitors. Now, Andrea's been vulnerable every time, but Andrea seems like a strong competitor, and KK, no offense to Andrea, but Andrea's not given in terms of competition. She's serving look, she's a baddie, but competition, like Johnny already said to her, I know I'm going to have to carry you through this competition, and you just you just have to kind of just be there and look at whatever in the duel later. She was out there, like, screaming and shouting, doing the supporter duties. Very, very good. So like Andrea now, but go for 2 strong competitors on each side if you can, because you have to think about yourself. And as KK would say, that 250 wow, and that's the thing too about some people who are getting upset, like, and even like when essentially Isaiah and obviously Nicola argued about like maybe some of the things they were picking, whatever. If you watch the episode, we don't need to go through all those details there. Some people were like, well, even backing up, like Chris and KK were kind of upset about being picked. Some people on Twitter and things like that are like, agreeing with maybe some of the reasons for people being picked and like feeling upset as well. But it's like, this is Love Island Games. This is not Friendship Island. This is not, so people are playing the game. Isaiah's thinking about the game. They agreed on the girls, but there was some argument maybe on the girls, who to pick for the girls. But I need to go for the competitor. The biggest competitors are for the boys are Johnny and Chris. Josh could be as well, but Josh is invulnerable. So you put them up against each other. It's just a smart thing to do. It's Love Island Games, so like let's get it together. Nicola's kind of going around like upset, crying a little bit at obviously kind of being put in that position and also making people upset. Again, like I said, Andrea and Johnny seem to kind of understand, but KK and Chris were in their feels about it, upset or whatever, which is natural and kind of just want to focus. But Nicola's kind of crying a little bit and kind of coming into the like, I don't want to say victim, but kind of in a sense. Now, right before the duel started, KK was like, yeah, I was a power couple like recently, so I get it, but like I just want to like since I was a power couple, I know like you're not the victim here, and like saying, because maybe like Nicola was maybe feeling so bad about it, which is fair, but it's also kind of like, babes, like I'm the one who's at risk right now, like please, like let's save your tears the weekend, okay? Anyway. Also, backing up, I'm only jumping here, but I meant to mention this on Sydney. Sydney and Toby, I guess, knew each other, and they kissed. They met at, like, or maybe not met, but they probably met at the Love Island Games Season 1 premiere. The thing is, though, with Love Island Games Season 1 aired, like, 2023. Now, her and Isaiah were together until December 2023, so maybe they didn't kiss then. I'm not sure when they kissed. I'm like, wait a minute, so what happened? I don't know, but they mentioned that, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Anyways, back to the duel. So it's Andrea and KK. They're two good friends. I think they met each other in the villa. I don't know if they knew each other beforehand, but good friends going up against each other, and their kind of reasoning was maybe be an even competition. Like I said, Andrea was even on my mind in terms of picking, because it basically just be sending Andrea home. You might as well not even fight for it. The girl does, like I said, she's just there to serve. I don't know about the challenges. The challenge essentially is like, pull this freaking weighted thing and get it on your side after 45 seconds. Whoever has it on their side the most wins. Best out of 3. Now, Andrea and KK are similar builds, I feel like. Andrea's a little bit taller than KK, so that's why I feel like she would have maybe more body weight. And essentially they're just going at it, pulling this thing back and forth. And then Andrea ends up winning the duel 2-0. KK gets sent home. But she has to sit there and watch Chris and Johnny. Chris and Johnny go at it, all rough and tough, as you would expect kind of boys to do. At the very end, basically Johnny wins, and then Chris is saying he hurt his finger. Maybe he broke it, whatever. They call the medics over. They determine that his finger isn't, like, he's not fit enough to continue the competition. So kind of by default, Johnny wins, and KK and Chris get sent home. And that's where we're at. And yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a cutthroat situation, but you got two good competitors out. So it's kind of, this is the thing, if those of us who watched Love Island Game Season 1, that's part of the thing that made the show so good and so, like, shocking in moments, especially at the end. Like, do you remember when Justine and Jack had to choose to vote Amani and Ray off at, like, right before the finale, and Ray's crash out and all types of stuff? Listen, and there were so many moments before then, all the other people having to basically, in a sense, be cutthroat on Love Island games and think about competition, think about competitors. And Justine and Jackie, yeah, it was hard in the moment, and maybe I think at least in the moment, Justine was saying her and Ray never were the same in terms of friendships again, because he was taking it really personally. But she walked away with that money, didn't she? So if the check clears, hey, obviously friends are important. You got to keep friendships and things like that if you can. But this is Love Island Games, as KK would say in her honor. It's 250,000. Wow. I gotta put friendships aside right now, and I gotta go hard. I gotta go at it. I gotta do what I can. It's cutthroat. That's what makes it great. That's why this whole element of us voting for it, and I've already talked extensively about, like, only having U.S. voters and how that maybe kind of taints things. There's still, at least so far, I've been happy to see that there's still a lot of Islander, like, involvement in terms of power couple choosing who's going to be vulnerable or who to put at risk for a duel or things like that, because that kind of element of it causes the stir, mixes it up, changes the dynamics in there. People get upset about, oh, why'd you pick me? I thought we were friends. Why'd you, whatever. All that stuff is good to have, I feel like. So yeah, that's episode 8. I have an episode on Wednesday, so we'll be back Thursday, and we'll see what else happens with Love Island Game Season 2. We have like 2 more weeks left. This is just week 1.